explore 3 keys to prepare for a meditation retreat. This evening's lesson is drawn from a good-hearted question found on Reddit. Going to a 6-day retreat for first time, any tips? Elaborate. I'm going to a 6-day meditation retreat in a few weeks, and I was wondering if any of you have experienced one. Take 2. And I was wondering if any of you that have experienced one have any insight or tips to have the best experience possible. I have been meditating 20 minutes a day for months, but this would be a whole new level. So let us begin with broad brushstrokes. I'd like to tackle this question with 3 keys. Number 1, openness. Be completely open as to your physical, psychiatric, and psychological needs. Put them in writing, spell them out. It is always a mistake to assume that the people who are running the retreat are omniscient and will just be able to guess your needs. You can ask your partner, they'll tell you, even for someone who loves you and is devoted to you and who knows you intimately, meeting your needs is difficult. How much more so for a stranger? But the thing is, we're not isolated entities. We live an interdependent existence where everything affects us and we affect everything. So understanding this, we set ourselves up for success by doing everything we can to make sure that our needs are met. That might be impeccable planning on your part, keeping a checklist either on your phone or on a legal pad, and as the days elapse, different ideas will come to you. You'll be glad you did. Don't put it off to the last minute. There are some people who think they're too spiritual to meet the needs of their students. Listen, this isn't a charity. You're paying for the privilege. Make sure they treat you right. If they won't treat you right, then it's time to demand a refund and be on your way. There's no reason to spend 6 days with people who have no interest in meeting your needs. Number 2, be ruthless. Once you are there, be ruthless. Be ruthless in the meeting of your physical needs. Be ruthless in the meeting of your spiritual needs. If you find a meditation instruction to be opaque, ask for them to spell it out for you. Be tenacious, like a dog with a bone. They're not doing any favor. They're not doing you any favors. You are giving them your time. You are giving them your fee. They owe you a useful experience. And don't let them hide behind pseudo-spirituality. If they won't help you to have a meaningful meditative experience, if they can't help you, demand a refund and be on your way. You don't owe them anything other than kindness and human decency. This is a business, and their business is making sure that you master the spiritual path. Don't let people tell you that part of the path is you being abused by your teachers. It's not. Buddha taught that 50% of the Eightfold Path pertains to loving kindness. Nowhere in the corpus of Buddha's scripture do you see Buddha mistreating a student, or telling someone to mistreat a student. That's the worst type of malarkey. Nowhere do you see Buddha playing word games or being opaque. You might find people doing that in his name, but you don't see the Buddha doing that ever. So don't settle for that. you go there, give them the benefit of the doubt, assume they are fully enlightened people. And when they don't act, and if they don't act like the fully enlightened, then take them to task. For it is their job to master the material that they teach. If they have not mastered the material they teach, then they are of no use to you, and possibly frauds. And that brings us to the final point: be observant. How? How will you know whether the meditation advice that you are receiving is beneficial? Simple. Observe, assume that these people, give these people the benefit of the doubt, assume that they are applying the advice to their own lives that they are giving to you. If they are genuinely peaceful, if they are kind and compassionate and resourceful, then that's fabulous. And then it's very, very possible that the techniques that they are teaching you have helped them to become that way. Great. Maybe you'll be that way too, or become more that way. Fabulous. But if these people aren't being kind to you, if they aren't being helpful to you, if they're not being wise or resourceful, if they're not putting off a sincere vibe of having mastered the teachings that they are selling you, then get out of Dodge. Now, I want to take I want to explore this in greater detail. There was a red-headed character in Game of Thrones, I think her name was Melisandre, who said the night is dark and full of terrors. Well, there are some creepy people out there. In the Buddha's time, the name Buddha was a title. The Buddha's name was Gautama. Gautama had a wicked cousin named Devadatta. Devadatta thought it was brilliant to be rigid, fearful, suspicious, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. Let's focus on that rigidity. Gautama felt the opposite, that it was absolutely essential to be flexible, loving, rational, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. If the people organizing and running and leading this retreat are doing anything culty, if they won't let you talk for hours or days on end, if they won't let you eat or drink or rest when you feel you need these things, if they won't let you leave, if they take possession or try to take possession of your personal computer or cell phone or car keys, that's a big fat no thanks. I'm outie. And go. It's kind of like Amityville Horror. Get out. Do not. Like I said, there are some people who just are up to no good. Some of them think it's useful. Some of those people are lazy and minded enough to think that being abusive and controlling is a splendid thing. They might not be malicious at all. That doesn't mean they are beneficial to you or anybody else. So be observant. Do not give away your personal power. Please don't make the mistakes that hundreds of others have made. Now, what I'd like to do next is simply practice with you. I'd like to chant and meditate with you in a way that you may find beneficial. And I'm looking forward to doing that after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent about 8 hours a day, almost every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome, my friends, to Meditate Like a Jedi. which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. I look forward to, let's say this tonight, let's practice the latest iteration of Kind Gaze's easy meditation. Let us begin by bringing our crown, the top of our head, into the path of bliss and release. This is known by many names, including, oopsie, I forgot something. Let's put this right here. Completion stage, stage tantra, Bindu Mahamudra, Anu Yoga, Antique Lays, Nadi Prana Bindu, also known as channels, winds, and drops. It's super simple. We don't have to visualize or believe or emote. All we got to do is this. During the inhalation, we can recite the English word crown, referring to the top of our head. During our exhalation, we can silently we can intone the Sanskrit syllable Om, which in some systems correlates to the top of our head. Let's just play with this for 4 rounds. And I find it useful to count those 4 rounds on the left little finger. We can advance the tip of our thumb during our inhalation. And I invite you to practice with me right now. I'm having a technical difficulty. Please bear with me. Okay. I am greasy von Grease right now. Oh my goodness. Now let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and release. Which is known by many names, including Dzogchen, Great Completion Stage, Sutra Mahamudra, Ati Yoga, Mahasandhi, Chan, Proto-Zen, and Trekcho's slice through the duality of dread and desire. It's super simple. Every time we inhale, whether we know it or not, we are accessing our sympathetic nervous system, ensconced within the middle third of our spinal cord. It has evolved to help us to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. It has evolved to help us to perceive sights, sounds, sensations, flavors, scents, and the like, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. Now, this could seem a little overwhelming. Fortunately, every time we exhale, we're wired to access our parasympathetic nervous system in the bottom third and upper third of the same spinal cord. This bad boy is evolved to support both physical relaxation as well as mental release. Now, one thing you probably already know is sometimes our brain can be kind of klutzy, like Urkel. But it's got a good heart. And so if we ask our brain to silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this during each inhalation, it will, and then it'll begin cooperating with our sympathetic nervous system, facilitating the perception that we call mindfulness. Similarly, if during our exhalation we instruct our mind to silently and mentally recite the verb ease, our brain will cooperate more fully with our parasympathetic nervous system and will experience the release known as meditation. So let us continue working with this, and we will now begin count 4 rounds upon our left ring finger. Let us count an additional 4 rounds upon our left middle finger. And an additional 4 rounds upon our left index finger. So, at this point, you've learned how to count 16 rounds on the 4 fingers and 1 thumb of your left hand, which is splendid. And now I'd like to share with you the radical concept that upon our right hand, we can count sets. Our first set of 16 rounds, which we've just completed, and now our second set of 16 rounds, and so forth and so on. Is this mandatory? No. Do some people find it helpful? Yeah, sure, you betcha. Although I'll give you this pro tip. It's not ergonomically sound to lift your hand in front of the camera. It's easier to just rest your hands in your palm, whether or not your lap is occupied by a loved one. Welcome to this evening's live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, please type your question in great detail in the chat window. let us bring the four bases of mindfulness, the circumstantial, the physical, the interpersonal, and the mental, into the practice of love and release. Please chant with me. Rather than indulge our controlling tendencies with their follies of active visualization, emotion, magic, and belief, we could just recite these kind words in harmony with our breathing and allow our subconscious to do the heavy lifting. Let us sidestep the rigidity that confuses metaphors for statements literal, and relax into the flexibility that savors the chance explaining metaphors as similes. I invoke the wish of healing, Mani, jewel of love, and the purifying baby lotus of letting go. Supplicating with whom may love and letting go be mastered by all. May all minds of all beings now be as peacefully enlightened as the mind of a real or imagined Buddha symbolized by a tikle one syllable seed or bija mantra. So here's the trick. As we breathe in, we silently, mentally, and passively recite these 6 syllables, which are the essentialization of all these words that preceded it. During our exhalation, during our exhalation, we can physically relax as best we can as we strive to chant this 6-syllable mantra 8 times per breath. And yes, if this is your first time, please give yourself permission to have a learning curve. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. May all relationships, all speech of all beings now be yet as joyfully loving as a real or imagined Buddhist communication symbolized by the 6-syllable mantra. Om mani me me yung, 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 om mani me me yung. Om mani me me yung, 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 mani me yung, oh mani me 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 me yung. May all bodies or forms of all beings know which are the beautiful, Halcyon and Buddhist statuary, depicting the blissful body of a real or imagined Devi or Yadom, an octave of enlightenment such as Chenrezig. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. May all circumstances or lots of all beings know how the good fortune or boon, as a Buddha's real or imagined paradise, Pearland or Vati. Om Mani Mimi Yung, 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 Om Mani Mimi Yung. Again, let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and release, known as trick shows slice through the duality of dread and desire. Let us bring the four bases of mindfulness into wisdom's figurative practice of the rainbow body, known as Tokal's leap over the confusion of jealousy and pride. All visible circumstances or lots could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this body or form. So we're going to take all these words and coalesce them into just 6 syllables that we're going to divide between the inhalation and the exhalation, where we explore that although our circumstances are seen, they can often feel rather rather non-graspable. Together. All sensual bodies or forms could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this communication or speech. All resounding interpersonal speech could be as impermanent and interdependent as if it could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into this mind. All lucid minds could be as impermanent and interdependent as if they could blissfully melt into rainbow light that could delightfully absorb into our vast empty void. Like the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although tantalizing to the eye, could be non-graspable to the hand. For the third and final time this evening, let us bring whatever we spontaneously notice into the path of awareness and release known as Trekcho's slice through the duality of dread and desire. Together let's chant. In our compassion may we long to free all beings from the toxic tyranny of ever. Hating, craving, and clinging, metaphorically known as the three mental poisons. In our pragmatism may our liberation of all others be fueled by our reliance on the Buddha's example, instructions, and students, described by the metaphor of the three wish-fulfilling jewels. Having sat for the better part of 75 minutes, you might find it enjoyable to knock out some Tibetan-style calisthenics while chanting, may we free all through the three jewels. This is completely optional. No one's going to make you do this. I just had an idea. Oh, never mind. Okay, here we go. May we free all through the three jewels. 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 May we free all worthy. 3 jewels. Whew. That was exciting. Let us seal this evening's practice by chanting love and letting go's wishes for universal enlightenment and well-being. May all minds of all beings lucid yet void now be as enlightened as a Buddha's mind symbolized by a one-syllable bija. May all speech of all beings resounding yet void now be as loving as a Buddha's speech symbolized by a multi-syllable mantra. May all forms of all beings sensual yet void now be as healthy as a Yadam archetype depicted in Buddha statuary. May all lots of all beings appearing yet void now be as fortunate as a pure land of law represented in Buddhist paintings. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 2/3 hours, I would very much like to return to tomorrow's early meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.